Yes.
Okay, you miss the class. You miss learning the language.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I get that. Maybe they are watching. I don't know. It should be done by now. Maybe they are watching the match. I don't know. They are watching, the play, but I don't know.
But
So tonight,
mm-hmm,
yes, you can talk.
I don't think so because and when the match was playing, I don't have electricity in my house. So that's why I'm just chill.
Okay, so you are just chilling. You are not watching the play.
Yes.
Okay, that's understandable. Okay, so tonight I have a story that I wanted to share with you guys, and then you will wait a second. You will like hear it. I'm not the one that's gonna talk, but you will hear, and then what's more? Yeah, I think that's all. And after that, I had a few questions for you that you would have to answer. I think that's the one. And no, not that one. I think it's good. And it's Tika instead of Calibre. Okay. Okay. You're gonna hear a woman voice talk, and you're gonna say if it's good or not, okay?
When Lucas was 19 years old, he was living in a small town.
Can you hear it?
Yes. I hear.
Okay. And is it good like this, or should I made it, quicker like this one?
When Lucas was 19 years old,
Although I can because it's too.
Okay, it's good for you. Let me keep it like this.
when Lucas was 19 years old, he was living in a small town near the mountains. Most of his friends dreamed of leaving, and he often wondered whether he should do the same. At that time, he was working in his uncle's shop. Every morning, he was opening the store at 7 o'clock and helping customers throughout the day. Although the work was honest, he felt that his future could be different.
Okay, I think that is not needed. Mm, mm, mm. Okay, could be different. This one, I mean, those are not really needed right now. Oh my God. Almighty.
Mhm.
Almighty. Okay, I see I have a message. Okay, was you? Okay, now we're pursuing the story. We're moving.
One evening, while he was closing the shop, an old traveler entered. The
The
man
mail.
looked kind,
The
however,
sound is too low. Could you speak up to me, teacher?
Okay, so the sound is too low.
Yes.
Okay, wait a few seconds.
Good evening, Raymond.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Good evening. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I really happy to see you again, teacher. I hope
The
you are good now.
Yes, I'm fine.
Okay, happy
Most
to know
likely
that.
fine. Okay, let's start again, and you can say if you heard it or not. Okay, I think it should.
when Lucas was 19 years old,
What about now? Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Yes, it's good. It's good to me.
Okay.
When Lucas was 19 years old, he was living in a small town near the mountains. Most of his friends dreamed of leaving, and he often wondered whether he should do the same. At that time, he was working in his uncle's shop. Every morning, he was opening the store at 7 o'clock and helping customers throughout the day. Although the work was honest, he felt that his future could be different.
Okay, we're moving on into the next one.
One evening, while he was closing the shop, an old traveler entered. The man looked tired, however, there was something unusual about him. He smiled and asked Lucas a simple question. If you could be anywhere in the world tomorrow, where would you go? Lucas laughed because he had never seriously thought about it. I think I would travel, he replied. I believe there must be more to life than staying here forever. The old man nodded. In my opinion, he said, many people wait too long before chasing their dreams. That night, Lucas could not sleep. While everyone else was resting, he was thinking about the traveler's words. The next few months were difficult. He was saving money, studying in the evenings, and learning new skills. Some people supported him, however, others told him he was wasting his time. His best friend, Mark, disagreed. Open book story. The two
Okay. Okay, so that's the continuation.
I think you're making the right decision, Mark said. A life full of experiences is better than a life full of regrets. Those words stayed with Lucas. A year later, he had saved enough money to leave. As he was boarding the train, he felt both excited and frightened. If he stayed, his life would remain comfortable. If he left, everything would be uncertain. Nevertheless, he chose to leave. Over the following years, Lucas traveled through different countries, met hundreds of people, and discovered opportunities he had never imagined. Some cities were bigger than his hometown. Some jobs were more difficult than anything he had done before. On the other hand, every challenge taught him something valuable. One day, many years later, he returned home. The mountains were exactly as beautiful as before. The streets were the same. The shop was still standing. However, Lucas was no longer the same person. Looking at the sunset, he smiled. I was afraid, he thought. But if I had never left, I would never have known what I was capable of. As far as I'm concerned, he told himself, the greatest risk is not failing. The greatest risk is never trying.
Okay, I think you guys are still here. So after hearing Lucas' story, what did you retain or what is your point of view? Do you guys feel like you want to give me your own peace of mind. I should not cut that. What is your point of view of Lucas stories? Or do you feel like you want you want a chance at it again? Do you feel like you should hear the story again to retain or to remember more before giving your point of view?
Yes, please. I would like
To
to
hear the story
hear
again.
again. Yes, please.
Okay,
Thank you.
let's start again. Okay, that's where the story starts.
Open book story. The Two Roads. When Lucas was 19 years old, he was living in a small town near the mountains. Most of his friends dreamed of leaving, and he often wondered whether he should do the same. At that time, he was working in his uncle's shop. Every morning, he was opening the store at 7 o'clock and helping customers throughout the day. Although the work was honest, he felt that his future could be different. One evening, while he was closing the shop, an old traveler entered. The man looked tired, however, there was something unusual about him. He smiled and asked Lucas a simple question. If you could be anywhere in the world tomorrow, where would you go? Lucas laughed because he had never seriously thought about it. I think I would travel, he replied. I believe there must be more to life than staying here forever. I think you're making the right decision.
Okay, that's not the part.
The old man nodded. In my opinion, he said, many people wait too long before chasing their dreams. That night, Lucas could not sleep. While everyone else was resting, he was thinking about the traveler's words. The next few months were difficult. He was saving money, studying in the evenings, and learning new skills. Some people supported him, however, others told him he was wasting his time. His best friend, Mark, disagreed.
Memang gadis.
I think you're making the right decision, Mark said. A life full of experiences
Nafsi
is
bunuh
better
eh?
than a life full of regrets. Those words stayed with Lucas.
Ya.
A year later, he had saved enough money to leave. As he was boarding the train, he felt both excited and frightened. If he stayed, his life would remain comfortable. If he left, everything would be uncertain. Nevertheless, he chose to leave. Over the following years, Lucas traveled through different countries, met hundreds of people, and discovered opportunities he had never imagined. Some cities were bigger than his hometown. Some jobs were more difficult than anything he had done before. On the other hand, every challenge taught him something valuable. One day, many years later, he returned home. The mountains were exactly as beautiful as before. The streets were the same. The shop was still standing. However, Lucas was no longer the same person. Looking at the sunset, he smiled. I was afraid, he thought. But if I had never left, I would never have known what I was capable of. As far as I'm concerned, he told himself, the greatest risk is not failing. The greatest risk is never trying.
Okay, I think now it should be all right. Okay. Now you know what the story is about.
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
You
can you
know, so, mhm.
okay,
The
I
story,
cannot really hear you because you keep, your voice keep echoing. It has like a deep echo going on. So I don't know if you're using a phone or a tablet or even a laptop. You can bring it a little closer to you because you
okay.
sound far. Yes?
Now,
Hello,
Hello, Josué?
yes, it's better now.
Yes, it's better now.
Okay. So
Okay.
the story talk about Mark. Mark will live in a place, and and his friends would like to live, and they encourage Mark to live also. So, but Mark has a, a important thing to do in his uncle shop. So, if I remember, yes, Mark has a lot of things to do in his uncle shop, but if I remember well, he decided to travel around the world, and the so I don't remember I don't remember all things in the story. So I get the lesson, the moral. The
Okay.
lesson, it's better to try than 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 than,
Then
than,
not trying.
than not trying. Yes.
Okay, that was your point of view, Jose, and it was good. You did, you misplace a little thing. The story is not about Mark, even though Mark is mentioning it, but Mark is the best friend of the protagonist, that is Lucas. Okay, the story is about Lucas, but your point, it was great. It was on. So who's gonna share what he retained, like gave some explanation about the story? Who's going to share his point of view of the story? Who's next? No one else wanna try? Was it only Josie that was listening to the story? I don't think so, guys. I don't think it was only Josie and me that was listening to the story. The story of my life, I did go home. I drive all night to keep up. Okay, looks like no one else wanna come forward. Now I'm gonna say what the story is about. So we can say that this story is about a man or boy, since they did not give any information about his age. The story is about this boy named Lucas. And then Lucas has how can I say that? Peaceful, cozy life, and he get to do his daily things with no change at all because he's used to it and he's comfortable in it. That is working because Lucas is working in his uncle's shop. So he's used to that. That is life, and even when other people are leaving the town or the countryside that Luca is in, he this idea has never crossed his mind because Luca feels like what he have is enough and he doesn't wanna go outside and try. But unexpectedly one day someone came in Luca's life even though it was for a short period of time, and he asked him only one questions. All it takes was one questions for Lucas to have a different mindset. It was an old man, a stranger, a traveler that has no tie to Lucas, that did not even know Luca. It's like a customer entering the shop and want a services, but he asked Lucas one questions. He asked Luca, what you will do? Let me go back at the question again. Um, okay, he asked Luca this question. If you could be anywhere in the world tomorrow, where would you go? And that was all it took for Lucas to begin, analyzing his life, thinking about, even though at the moment or in the moment when the person asked him that question, he took it as a joke, but later on, it was the click. Okay, what I mean by the click, it was in that moment that Lucas decided to go outside to how can I say that, to leave his comfort zone. When I'm talking about comfort zone, I mean to leave his uncle's shop, to leave whatever he's now till then. So he decided after this conversation with the stranger, even though he was laughing, he was not serious in the moment, and then he answered, "I think I will travel." He replied, "I believe there must be more to life than staying here forever." So that's what he said. Even in that heat of the moment, he was joking. But and after that, Lucas began working, studying to be able to achieve his goal. Because after talking to that man, Lucas has his goal that was to travel the world, to learn more, and to go or to live where he was living at that time. Even though not everyone believe in him, but fortunately, he has a good friend that is Mark, that's like encouraging him and said that he believed in him. And Luca decided to move forward with his life. Eventually, he got out um, and do work he was not used to, learn things he didn't know before, and such as such. So, I think Luca's life. Now, my question for you is: do you guys think Lucas made the right decision, or if you were in Lucas' place, what will you do? If you were in Lucas' place, will you choose to stay where you are customized, or will you choose, to stay in the life that you know, and don't don't want any change? What will you do if you were in Lucas' place? That's my first question for you.
I think Lucas make a a good decision because when you when you are in a place, you know what you do. You have a stable life, so you it will be difficult to live to another place where you you haven't know you haven't known anything about the place. So I think it's better to stay where where he where he is, and after that, a plan to travel where he wants, where he wants, even if eh, where he wants, and 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 go back in his place.
And it's like so you
Yeah.
think Lucas made the right decision that he decided to leave his comfort zone to see the world outside, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
It's
So
a
what
good
about
thing to travel. To travel, when you travel, you see good things. You improve your skills. And
okay,
so,
that's good. Now what about you guys? What do you think about Lucas' decision or what is your point of view? Did you do you guys think it was great for Lucas to move or it wasn't? Should he stay, should he have stayed in his own country and not leave? What about where is Raymond? Why are you not talking, Raymond? What about you, Jean-Louis? What is your point of view on Lucas' decision, guys?
Hello everyone, how are you
Yeah.
doing?
Hello, Jean-Louis. I'm great. Thanks God. What about you?
Thanks to God, I'm doing well and I'm so happy to be with you and have the possibility to attend class. Let me apologize because I connect so late. I forgot to connect on time. And I didn't get a chance to listen to the text correctly, and that's why you can see that I'm very shy to talk. So I just want to say something about the idea to leave or to stay.
Okay,
Eh,
Remo, wait a second. There's no need to be shy, okay? And I can do a resume for you, even though you're not gonna be able to listen to the whole story, but I can do a resume for you and I will do so, okay? So this story is about a man or boy named Lucas that lived his a cozy life that was used to a cozy life in his town, okay, that did not have any idea in his head to move or to go away to see the world outside. He did not have those kind of idea. Even people around him were moving away, but he did not have any of that idea until one day he met a customer in his uncle's shop, a place that he was working, until he met that man, that stranger, and all it took was one question for Lucas to change his mindset. The man asked him if he could be anywhere in the world tomorrow, where would it be? And Luca, in the heat of the moment, didn't take that question seriously. He said that he would travel. But after, like, you see, when something happened in the heat of the moment and you don't really think about it, you don't take it seriously. But after that, after some times, or maybe days or hours, and you start thinking about it, you start asking yourself, analyzing yourself. That's what happened to Lucas. And after that, he start thinking about it. He start, he have to get out of there. He have to go sit or he have to study. He have to save money to be able to fund his goal. After that, Luca has a goal. That's what happens when people has a goal. They work to achieve it. And even though if Lucas did not receive any encouragement from most of the people, but he did receive it from his best friend, that's Mark. And with this encouragement, Lucas has the courage, the strength to move forward, and he eventually moved away from his town or his countryside. And they also tell us in the story when he was leaving, he was scared. Okay, he didn't know what was awaiting for him, but on top of all of that, he decided to move away. Okay, and after sometimes he came back again, and Lucas said, maybe everything has changed. Everything has remained the same in his town, but he has changed. He has learned and he has gone. So that's what the story was about. Now I think you can give your point of view.
Thank you so much.
No.
Normally, according to me, Lucas made a very good decision when he decided not to stay in his comfort zone or in where he's always been or in what he was doing. He decided to move forward and see what is happening in the other side. Uh, but fortunately, everything happened very well, and in this case, Lucas was satisfied, surely.
With the
But
outcome or with the result, Lucas was satisfied with the outcome. That means the ending of his story, right?
yes, yes, because the result was great because the fact that he made that decision, and it was for him a possibility to learn new things, to see new places, and etc. I think it was a great the decision, and when he came back, he didn't express, or I can say, this deception or disappointment. So I think it was great. However, in some situations, it's always important to think deeply before deciding, because when you decide to change your mind and make a decision, the result might be satisfying or disappointing. And but if before you decide, you think deeply about what you're going to do, and you realize that this is the good decision and maybe the best decision to make for the moment, you do it. In this case, your mind is ready to face whatever the result that will come. Because sometimes in the beginning you might think that everything will happen as expected. However, the experience might be different. So you never know in advance, or you are not always know in advance what will happen in the future when you make a decision. For some decisions, you might be more certain than others. but you don't necessarily know surely how things will happen, and that's why sometimes it's important to be careful before making a decision. But fortunately, in the Lucas case,
Case.
exactly, everything was great.
Okay, I think you had like a so like you said what I really wanted to say, but I will have more, and it was so great hearing you give your point of view and sharing your peace of mind with us, Audrey. I appreciate that. And what you said actually makes sense. But I will allow myself to add something, okay?
Thank you, teacher.
So, I think what the story is teaching us, it's not really Lucas' story, but it's more like a life decision. It is like when you sometimes we are in some situation that we are really used to it, even though they are not really great, but we still stay in them because we are most likely most humans tends they don't like changes, even though the change might bring good things, but people doesn't really want to leave what they are used to, what they are accommodated to. So they don't want to leave that and go change. They do not like that. They prefer to stay in what they know. And some people don't really like surprises. Life might try them. So even though the situation is not really good, people around them are moving away, are leaving. They still stay. And what I want you guys to know is not you are not made, okay? God did not create us to be stagnant. Okay, he created us to move around, to have strength to move forward. So even though the situation is not great and you don't know what tomorrow will bring, but what I would advise you is to move forward, is to take that first step. Because when you know deep down the situation is not great, or even though it's not really bad, but you know out there you could have found something better for yourself. So when you have the courage to take that one step, you know life gonna do the other steps. So if you had the courage to work hard, that's what Lucas did. He had the courage to leave, even though he life showed things that he didn't know before, but he didn't quit. Okay, so that's the mindset to have when you're in a situation. Don't quit, cause you don't know what you're gonna find at the end. Okay, even though the results might be a failure or just like under say a disappointment, but it can serve as a lesson because you never know what you're gonna find tomorrow. So don't be afraid to go out, but like others said, don't go out recklessly. Okay, don't just go and leave with no plan, nothing in mind, and you don't know what you're gonna do. You just go. No, don't do it like that. You gotta take your time, you gotta plan. First of all, you need a goal, and for that goal, once you have a goal, once your mind is dead set on something, you gotta work hard for it. So just don't go and leave and act like a person that doesn't know what he's doing. No, don't do it like that. But when you're playing, it's not like when you're playing you're not gonna fail. No, it's when you're playing, when you have a plan, you have a project, it's most likely um to success in that one. But when you do not play, you act recklessly, that is not really good. That is not how things are supposed to be. So I think, in my opinion, Lucas made a right decision, even though it might not be the same for everyone, because Lucas has the strength, the courage to move forward, and he has the courage, even though at that time he was scared. He did not have anyone except his best friend to support him, but he decided to leave to move forward. And for that, Lucas worked really hard. He learned, and then he saved money. You see, for his goal, Luca playing really well, and after moving on, he did not quit. Even though he he came to meet things he did not know he before working with his uncle shop, but he did not quit. He stayed until the end, and after that, we can say when Luca finally returned to his town, everything stayed the same, but Lucas was not the same again. He was, I can say, he's gone now. He learned things that he will not have if he stay in his hometown. So it's great to move forward with life, but you gotta take your time. If you feel like a situation is not for you and you cannot stay in it, then work how to leave it. Okay? Don't stay in a toxic environment. Don't stay in an environment that does not appreciate you, your work, or what you're dealing with. Don't stay somewhere that you're not appreciated, that you're not loved. So that's what the story was about, guys. Now I don't know if you have questions or anything else. Oh, I think it's too big.
Personally, I absolutely agree with you.
Yeah, so that's how life is. You gotta move forward because you're not a tree, okay? You're not a tree. You have two legs. You gotta move forward. That's what we were created for, in my opinion.
Yeah, and you won't never know what life reserve for you as long as you want to stay where you are.
Yes, that's why, to grow. I'm not talking about physical aspect. Pas seulement parler de physique, là, on va parler de to grow in the mind, or I don't know, financially. You gotta leave your comfort zone. Depi se nan zone de confort ou rete nan environnement kote ou paisible la dan, and then you're doing, your daily things with no change in it. There's no growth in that.
Yeah, that's
Okay?
true.
To grow, you gotta move. You gotta go out there, learn new things, and always remember there's a no age limit. There's really no age limit to learn new things. So don't say I'm too young for this or I'm too old for that. No, they didn't put a age limit to learn. So every day that you can learn something new, do it. That was the story for tonight, okay, guys? I know it's gonna be scary, you know, because when you're moving away or leaving everything that you ever known and go for how can I say that, for the foreign or strange thing or things that you did not have any idea about, it's going to get scary. And it's okay, because being scared is not a problem. It's a completely normal human emotion. It's not a problem or it's not the problem, but stay in the same situation for years, that is the problem.
Teacher,
Yes?
what do you think if we say that to a nation living in Guadeloupe right now?
What do I think about?
Yes, what do you think if we say to an Haitian living in Kuala Lumpur to stay where he is?
Okay, what do I think? The question is, what do I think about the people living in Quadrebuque right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so for those people, some of them have nowhere else to go. Like they don't have any countryside. And as you know, our country doesn't really have any shelters. When I'm talking about shelters, I'm talking about, places that take in people that are sleeping on the street. Or our country doesn't have that. And our country too, I don't think you have any, how can I say that, open places like park for those people to go. Staying in that same situation is not really the great idea because you never know what what's gonna happen with those people or what they're gonna do because there's always gonna be a fight, and in every fight there's gonna be victims.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you
Mhm.
choose to stay, it's like you accept your fate. When I say you accept your fate, you accept that you're the victim, or you accept that you're the same kind of those people. So I think the best option is moving away, even though you don't know where you're going, even though you feel like the country, is upside down. But some places are still better than staying there. I know some people say they do not have family and they do not, oh, I can say, they do not have anyone to lean on. But some people really, they do not care. They don't care about things like that. As long as they find a place, they don't care about the conditions they are living in. But in my opinion, moving on or moving away is the best options because you never know when there's gonna be a fight. And let's say there's a fight, you have nothing to defend yourself, or you cannot defend yourself with their weapons. So when you're staying, it's like you agree with anything that can happen to you or that's gonna happen to you, because things gonna happen, and it seems like you're the same kind of those people, so you accept everything that's gonna happen to you.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And if the government was doing his job, and then let's say that he decided, to drop like a bomb, and then you die, and people gonna say the government is so bad, but why did you not move away? After those everything you decided, you agreed to live with those people when you could have moved away, when you could have saved your life. Because remember, there's always gonna be victims in those kind of fight, and if you do not want to be a victim, or you do not want to die like that, the best option is, I don't know, take your bag, take your kids, your husband, everything you have, and run. Run if you do not want to be a victim. But if you're okay, and as I can say, some Asian people, they like to live. How should I say that in English? Hmm, I don't really have the expression going on in my right now, but those type of people, they like to vivre au jour le jour. I don't know if you guys understand, but it's the day that they see that they count. Se jour ou compter, yo pa planifiye pou anyen, ou bien yo pa fe plan pou anyen. I don't know, guys, if you guys understand what I'm saying, but it's most
But,
likely
but,
like
but
that.
I can say most of those people, uh, I don't know if I can say those who live day by day, they usually they don't have financial resources to plan for tomorrow, to plan the future. Every day they wake up, go into the street. Maybe if they have a small money, buy buy a few things, sell it, and make a little benefit to buy what they need to go back home, feed their kids. They don't have the possibility or the resources. They don't have the necessary things they really need to live. I'm talking about food, education, or I can say why I can't understand. I can't remember the exact word, but it's a way to say it's life is really tough for someone who lives day by day, someone who doesn't have a money, who doesn't have a place to sleep, or doesn't have almost anything.
I get what you're saying, and I understand that. I know that's the reality of our country. And I get that part. That's why I bring the government the shelters, because there's no shelters, there's no park that they could have go, to stay outside. And that's what I said. People like this, they don't plan, okay? Even though they know they are not really in a great position, they don't really have any plan or any project to stay out of it, okay, to leave it. And that's why I said it's like a non-consenting. It's like un non-dit. Même si ou pas dit, mais au final, you accepte vivre avec et qu'importe comme si whatever the might happen, they're gonna have to accept that because every choice has its own consequence. That's what people have to know or have to or could I say that make peace with it. Tout choix ou fait gen konsekansi sou terre. Whatever choice you make, every choice has its own consequence. I get that some of them really don't have anything, but if they have plain when they are younger or something, they could have, I don't know, move away. But I really do not recommend someone staying. Even where we are not safe. Even where we are not safe. So wait a second.